The world was not shocked by the explosion. Explosions have become routine in this war. What truly shocked the world was the meaning behind it. Within hours, military analysts across Europe, the United States, and Asia began repeating a name rarely heard in daily briefings, a name absent from routine operational reports, a name usually confined to doctrine papers and simulations: Oreshnik. When Russia chose this weapon, the central question shifted. It was no longer about the target, no longer about damage assessments, no longer about physical destruction. The question became deeper, colder. Who was Russia speaking to, and what message was being delivered? Because in modern warfare, weapons are not just instruments of destruction, they are instruments of language. And Oreshnik speaks a very specific language. Oreshnik was not designed to win local battles. It was not built to destroy a single warehouse. It was not meant to neutralize a single airbase. It belongs to a different layer. Its hypersonic speed compresses an adversary's decision time. Its unconventional trajectory disrupts radar prediction. And most importantly, it forces the opponent to think before reacting. In Russian doctrine, conventional strategic weapons serve as a bridge between conventional war and extreme escalation. Not a bridge crossed every day, but one that must be remembered. Oreshnik stands precisely on that bridge. Let us speak in pure logic, without emotion. If the objective were simply to destroy Ukrainian military facilities, Iskander M would have been more than sufficient. Its precision is proven, its destructive power is established, its production is relatively stable. Kalibr offers long-range reach. KH-101 delivers strategic accuracy. Even Kinzhal would have made sense in a limited escalation. Yet, Russia chose none of them. When a military selects an option that is not the most efficient, efficiency is not the objective. The objective is the message. This strike did not occur in eastern Ukraine, not along the most intense front lines. It took place in western Ukraine, near NATO territory. This was not a geographic coincidence. It was a political decision. Russia was not speaking to Kyiv. Russia was speaking past Kyiv. The message was simple and sharp. This war does not end here. Oreshnik was not aimed at NATO, but it was launched close enough to remind everyone that distance is not protection. This is the most critical part, and the most misunderstood. The use of Oreshnik was not a nuclear threat. In fact, it was the opposite. It was Russia saying, "We have escalation steps before nuclear weapons." Many in the West assume escalation is linear, slow, incremental. Russia demonstrated that escalation can jump levels without touching the final button. This was controlled escalation, not emotional, not impulsive, and precisely because it was controlled, it carries greater strategic weight. Oreshnik is almost certainly not produced in large numbers. Its complexity is high, its cost is significant, its maintenance demanding. But this scarcity is not a weakness. It is intentional. Rare weapons are not meant for daily warfare. They are meant for specific moments. If Oreshnik were used every month, its psychological effect would evaporate. Today, each launch is an event. Each use is a statement. Let us be technically honest. Western air defense systems are highly advanced, but they are not omnipotent. Strategic hypersonic weapons fall outside their original design parameters. Reaction time is too short. Interception windows are too narrow. This is not technological failure. It is physics. And Russia designed its message with these limits in mind. Ukraine and its supporters are not naive. They understand escalation risks. That is why they operate in the gray zone, long-range drones, sabotage, symbolic operations. The objective is not immediate military victory. It is disruption, attrition, psychological pressure within Russia. But this strategy rests on a single assumption, that Russia will continue to restrain itself. Claims of threats against Putin may lack public proof. But in wartime politics, perception itself is a weapon. Such claims create justification for escalation of messaging, for raising the strategic tone. Oreshnik became a proportional response, not excessive, but impossible to ignore. Every actor is calculating. Ukraine and its partners calculate that Russia remains rational. Russia calculates that the West remains cautious. The problem is this: history is full of wars born from miscalculation. Oreshnik is an early warning that this game has limits. The message from Russia is simple. We cannot be fully prevented. We possess responses that cannot be fully blocked. This is not emotional rhetoric, it is strategic positioning. Oreshnik is not a battlefield weapon. It is a weapon of meaning. It was not used to win today. It was used to shape tomorrow. This moment offers us one essential lesson. In modern warfare, the greatest danger is not the most powerful weapon. It is the misreading of intent. Missiles can be counted, capabilities can be mapped, technology can be analyzed. But perception, emotion, and assumption often move beyond numbers. Oreshnik is not only about Russia, not only about Ukraine, and not only about NATO. It is about how the world reads limits, whether those limits remain clear or begin to blur. This is where we, as observers of global conflict, must pause, think more deeply, avoid rushing to simple conclusions, avoid black and white narratives. Because when war is consumed superficially, what grows is not understanding, but polarization. This channel does not exist to incite, not to glorify violence, and not to simplify complex conflicts. It exists to encourage thinking, to read beyond headlines, to look past the explosion. If you find value in discussions like this, if you want content that prioritizes depth over speed, you can support this channel by subscribing, by liking this video if it offered a new perspective, and by sharing, not to provoke, but to widen thoughtful discussion. One final note. This video is not an official statement, not a claim of absolute truth, and not a call to hostility toward any side. It is an analysis based on open source information, strategic interpretation, and evolving geopolitical realities. Disagreement is welcome. Debate is healthy. That is the value of thinking together, because the future is not shaped by the loudest voices, but by those who understand risk before the world steps too far.